thought it was time to come on here and tell a little bit more about my story. I actually, like I said, in the past, as a very young child, like I'm talking toddler age, I knew truths, I knew things that were not of this world. And so when I was hearing how I was supposed to respond and do things from this world, I was like, like I knew it was wrong. But I was just, I kind of conformed, obviously, because, it makes life a little bit easier, especially when you're young and being told the ways of the world. So anyway, at 7 is when I really understood that my life is always going to be about being bigger than myself. My reason for being here, the reason I chose to come here, is bigger than myself. Like I knew that I was of service to help as many people as possible in this lifetime. So it wasn't only just about me. Now, saying that to say this, that path, the spiritual path, is a very hard path. The reason that a lot of people will say you're a chosen one when you choose that path is that you do choose that path. It's a choice all the time. And you are tested and fire tested, and you have to rebuild yourself. You have to rebirth yourself. You have to almost, in a way, it almost seems like a self-destruct, because it's like you are unprogramming whatever ways of the world that are actually shown or taught to you while you're here. And you have in your DNA, once you start, unlearning some of those things, your DNA is imprinted with your actual blueprint for this life. And that's when you start to come into your spiritual purpose and your spiritual mission. And it's not an easy thing. There's a reason people are called chosen too, because you're constantly under psychic attack. You're constantly having things come at you. You're constantly having to readjust everything multiple times in your life. You'll go through hell and back. You have to fight your own inner demons, and then you have to literally fight things, because it's not just about you, it's also about society and whatnot. So you're fighting things not just for yourself, but you're also fighting things for other people. So it's very and when you sleep, you're not sleeping. I mean, you might get a little bit of sleep, you might get a little rest, but you're also astral traveling. You're traveling into realms and learning things, or teaching things, or involved in things that are not of this world. And it's a calling, but there's a reason they're chosen people, because they make that choice. They do the hard work. Those of us that are chosen and have finally come into a state of peace, it doesn't mean that we're not still having to do those things and stuff, but we have come to an understanding and an embodiment of what our purpose is, what our mission is, of our wholeness as not just ourselves, but as teachers and those of service to the humanity, into this world, into the universe. And so it's not an easy thing. It is grueling. Most people you have to be very strong. It definitely gives tenacity and strength unlike anything, resilience unlike anything, because it's not easy to constantly be broken down and built back up and rebirthed and transforming over and over and over again. It's not an easy feat, but it's rewarding, because you can understand things at levels that not everyone does, and help others to start understanding those things. And believe it or not, once you get to a certain point in the spiritual evolution path, you are what I call at the 0 point, and it's like, it's why a lot of people will have reactions to people that are on this path, is that when they're in your vicinity, they can feel that difference. They can feel your energetic frequency and field is different. Pardon me. And when they feel that, they either are attracted to want to get to know you and want something, to do with you in your life, or the opposite can happen. It can freak them out because they know that this person in some way is going to change me. And if they're not ready for that change, they don't want to do that work on themselves, then they have to get out of there. So a lot of the time in this life, we'll have people around us that we hold our own energies, and we hold space for those people to rise above whatever their current situation may be, and to continue to rise. And if someone's not wanting to rise or is not ready to rise, if the energy levels and frequencies aren't quite the same, it either has to rise to a higher level to be able to sustain itself in the higher frequencies around, or it dissipates. It can't stay. It cannot remain. So it's just really interesting that and I'm not the only one that has this calling and this purpose and this mission. There's lots of people that chose the spiritual path, and they've done a lot of the work, and people that are quiet and regardless of whatever's going on around them or might be kind of aimed at them, but they still keep their quiet and their peace for the most part. Don't let that fool you. That peace came at a price that most people will not do. They will not do the work. It takes a lot of strength. It takes a lot out of a person. But the rewards are great because you're seeing real time how, others around you are growing. You're seeing yourself grow. It's just an amazing thing. And it teaches you to not compare yourself to other people. You can still observe other people, but if you're going to compete with yourself. Make yourself better every day. So just wanted to come on here, just share a little bit more about my story and some of my calling and my mission. And just because I look like I'm, in a place of peace doesn't mean that didn't come at a price. Like, I did have to do stuff to get to this level, and we can all get to this level. Whether we're choosing to be spiritual or not is irrelevant. All of us can get to a place where, for the most part, no matter what, we're the calm in the storm and the calm in the chaos. All right, thanks for listening.